Well, many artists I talk to have no clue how to build an audience on social media. They treat it much like a billboard on a freeway. New album, new song, come see the show that you don't even live by. And while those posts are always needed, they are mostly noise and creatively boring. But what if you were able to bring value in your followers' life and intrigue total strangers to not only listen to your music, but subscribe to your entire brand? Now there is a social media account worth following. No cap. Hey, well, welcome back to Christian Artist Pro. My name is Kevin McNeeson. I've been marketing music and working with hundreds of independent artists over the past 2+ decades to develop their brand and think beyond their song to build and engage audiences worldwide. Now, I started this channel just a few months back, and I'm incredibly thankful for those that have already hit subscribe and left comments on these videos. We're just starting out, and I've got videos planned for days, weeks, years. So smash that like button and subscribe, and I'd love to interact with you in the comments as well. On this video, we're staying on social media because I think it remains one of the most important and necessary tools for any independent artist. And there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to set it up and to start working on it. It's fairly easy. You can kind of just figure it out pretty quickly. You can schedule posts in advance, which is great. You don't have to do everything in real time. All of the social media sites now allow you to schedule your posts in the future. It's very versatile. You can do text, you can do photos, you can do video, you can do audio, plus it's interactive and in real time. And then the last video, we talked more about the pros and the cons of social while also establishing how you can use all of these social channels very differently. So I'd love for you to check that out before you dive deeper in. And there's a link in the show notes below. So you're on social, you're using it, but you're just not quite sure what else you could be doing with it. Well, hey, you're in the right spot because I think you'll quickly get some creative inspiration here in the next couple minutes. More than likely, this is how you are using social media right now. You're just putting up basic wall posts and you're talking about your music. That's how 95% of artists really use social. Here's my new song, here's my new single, here's my new tour, go listen to my album. And then all of the posts kind of revolve around that. But I think there's a lot of other unique ways that you could be using social media. So we're gonna hit 7 different ways that you can start using social media differently. If you're kind of kicking it, you might go through these 7 and go, hey, I hit 5 out of 7. Awesome. I think you're gonna find at least one thing here in this list that you could be doing differently on social. So the first is Instagram stories. And we all know Instagram is obviously a major player in the social media space. And it's really 3 social networks in one. You've got your main wall on your feed. You've got Reels, which is also duplicated on Facebook. And it's much like TikTok or Shorts on YouTube, just your vertical video. But then you have stories, and stories are vertically oriented photo and video pieces that disappear after 24 hours. Although now you can save them as themed collections, but they also point to important links. So it's kind of unique in the way you can use them. And you use these stories to tell people what you're up to. Now I see a lot of artists not utilizing stories as much as they could be. And the big con is that they go away. I mean, you create content and then they go away. But the plus is that a lot of people engage with these for real-time content. So you can actually load them up in advance. You can create these a week ahead and have just one every 24 hours so that you're constantly interacting with people. And like I said, you can save them later if you want to for more of a collection. So utilize stories if you're not. A lot of people are using the wall and of course Reels. Stories are a great way to use Instagram as well. Another way to create really great content is just through what I call kind of social blocks. So these are usually square graphics. There's a lot of ways artists can use these. So whether you're posting these to your own socials or having media partners do it on theirs, artful presentations of like your powerful lyrics, they tend to have really good shareability on social networks. So you can think of these as short inspirational quotes that can inspire without any context of you or your song. They're lyric slides. It's taking a section of your lyrics and creating content around that. The great thing about this is you're only taking one line of your lyrics. So any song that you have, you could probably create 20 different lyric blocks and tie them all together to promote that one song. Another way you can use this is if you're a Christian artist, you actually design scripture quotes. It remains one of the most interactive and shareable pieces of content that you can create. However, I just want you to be intentional about it. A lot of Christian brands do this. A lot of different artists, as well as churches. You've got radio stations doing this all the time, and it will work. If you post a verse, people are going to share it and like it. After all, it's the foundation of who you are as a Christian artist, and your audience wants to get scripture into their lives. My challenge to you is just to try to be unique. Bring something very you to the table as you share scripture. So tie it to some of the themes in your recent song, or tell a story over the course of a month. Don't just pick a random verse. That's incredibly boring. If you have a song that's just about rich love and loving the people in front of you and loving your neighbors, do a month of love, inspirational verses that talk about love. That's really doing something unique. It's intentional with your song. It points everybody back to that initial song. Good homes for these graphics are always including Facebook, of course, X, Instagram, even Pinterest is a good place to kind of throw these up on. So lyric slides, graphic slides, or inspirational Bible slides, biblical slides. That's one way to use it. All right, a third way that you could be using social media kind of uniquely for artists is through status updates. Now, this might seem a bit self-evident, but it's amazing to me how many artists miss this. I think everybody's trying to one-up each other on creativity, that the very base foundational posts are kind of going away. And so do these like once a day on socials. You can do it on Facebook and X. It seems to be the best places for this, but these are just text-based. They're 2 or 3 sentences, no images, they're just text. They can be like different musings you're having, or inspirational quotes or Bible verses. Ask your audience a question. Be curious about their opinions. Share about your day and what you're seeing in the world, wherever you are. Show that you are a real person, that you're not just a salesperson trying to get the audience to buy your wares, watch your video, go to your tour, download your song. Like, really be a real person. And this is how you can do that. You don't have to be extra polished. You don't have to have the great videos or the great images. It's just your thoughts. Don't forget to post those. And here's a bonus tip. Keep the conversation going in the comments. You know, this is really helpful for all the algorithms. As long as your posts are getting comments and interactions with, that matters. And guess what? Your own interaction with your own posts matters. So if someone comments back. That takes your 1 comment to 2 comments. And never delete a comment. Even bad negative comments are ones that you can engage with. The algorithms don't know about negative comments versus positive. They just view it as all activity. So engage those, even if it kind of makes you embarrassed or kind of mad. Like, engage it anyway. And you will actually find that goes a long way. All right, another way to engage on social medias in a very unique way is through live broadcasts. Now, you can take advantage of live streaming opportunities on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. You can play music, you can take questions, or you can just show people what you're doing. Just have fun. But just make sure you have a plan or a reason going into it. Also, I would always advise artists to plan for no audience. This is really important. There's nothing worse than you just sitting there waiting for like 1 or 2 people to trickle in and spend the first 5 minutes going, hi, hey, we're just going to hang out and wait for people to come in. Don't do that. Come prepared with some intro stuff. Because here's the fact. The majority of people who consume live content are not going to be with you live. They're going to come in after the fact. They're going to absorb this content whenever is convenient for them and their life. So make it relevant for them as well when they choose to watch it. Come prepared with some Q&A, get ready with some songs, just kind of just do a live video, almost like what I'm doing now. You're not watching this live. You're watching it whenever you want. But yet I'm coming prepared as if I have an audience in front of me right now. All right, let's keep going. And hopefully you are finding some things that you like. If you are, keep it going in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe as we continue to talk about ways that you can use social media uniquely in your space. Fan groups are a huge way that artists are using social media. This is mostly on Facebook right now. And as their algorithm continues to change to the detriment of businesses and artists and many other pages, musicians have actually used Facebook groups to keep information in front of their most active and interested fans. From independent newcomers to some of the biggest names in Christian music, the fan group is actually a really great way to create a tribe of passionate people who will get the info that you want to get to them. You can also mobilize these fans to become a sort of online social media street team. Now, this does a number of things. First of all, it finds your best fans. Any fan is going to follow you on your social, but a true fan, like a real fan, is going to join your exclusive fan group. These are usually closed or they're invite only. You have to apply and get accepted, but it allows you to really filter out your best fans. And then here's the cool part. You can then pour and invest into them. So as they're showing up for you, you can show up to them. You can give them exclusive social content. You can engage them directly. You can post live videos in your group for them and really create kind of like a super fan group. Well, artists are doing a lot more of these nowadays. And I'm seeing a lot of brands adopt them as well. I know I run newreleasetoday.com and we love it when artists do this. It's called a social media takeover. Sometimes social media can become a bit of an echo chamber, like with the same people, just talking to the same people. That's why from time to time, it can actually be good for you to find other artists or organizations and media partners who will allow you to hijack their social media to let you introduce yourself or bring added value to their channels through things like acoustic performances, music video premieres, fan Q&As, etc. And in return, you get in front of some new people. So ask what it would take. Maybe you got to front a couple bucks to do that, but it's actually worth it. If brands have an established audience and you can bring that brand additional value and excitement, then I'm going to guess that a lot of them are going to allow you to take over their page for a day. You can actually have a lot of fun doing it. Well, the final encouragement that I would have when using social in creative ways is to do just that. Be creative. Just find ways to interject your mission and your vision and your values into these ongoing conversations. It's key to comprehensive storytelling and get creative. We love seeing bands do some incredible things. One band we saw sponsored a Patreon campaign for another brand. And now that band is mentioned at some point on every single episode of a daily live stream. They're getting in front of hundreds of other Christian music fans. And I think that's actually pretty cool. Others have done special contests where they give away crazy things like a pinball machine in exchange for data. You can actually do a lot of really fun, creative things on social. And one of the best ways to get inspired is to follow a lot of other bands. Don't be afraid to experiment. If it's not working, then move on to something new. But if it does work, do it again and again until your audience kind of gets tired of it. So there's some new inspiration, hopefully, for social. And let me tell you, if you listen to this entire video and you've done all of it, I just applaud you. Guess you're kicking butt and you're probably well exhausted in social media, and that's okay, because I think the last one will just encourage you to go back to the drawing board and keep working on stuff. Social media is a never-ending troll of creativity, and you can keep going and going and going, which is something I am not going to do. Take care. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll talk to you in the next video here at Christian Artist Pro.